afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast. Lehr, the host, Imperial Dane, Master of Instruction, Schoolmaster, Lord of Discipline, off here to discuss a particular Wehrmacht strategy here, which has sort of been slightly catching on. That's the Wehrmacht Tier 3 Rush. Now, as the sort of name indicates, it involves rushing, so obviously you want to be fast about this to an extent. But overall, what does the sort of strategy involve? Basically, in this case we're seeing double pioneers, but mostly the strategy as a key involves getting 4 grenadier squads and 1 MD42. You generally don't push it much further beyond that. Maybe again some additional pioneer squad in the early game just to grab more territory. Overall, the plan is to just basically build a sizable tier 1 force. Again, they could push aggressively against your opponent, and then you skip tier 2, that's of course your research, and then push as fast as possible for the second battle phase and build this primal core, and again been pushing out armor. That's sort of the basics of it. But again, it very much relies on just playing the Wehrmacht hyper aggressively, which you kind of want to do anyways, but this is probably, even more aggressively than usual, because again, you're committing so heavily to the grenadiers. With maybe again 1 MD42 to back it up with. Again, you will first even then only go for the MD42 later on, where most Wehrmacht strategies will involve an early MD42. The tier 3 rush tends to only get the MD42 after all the infantry sort of is on the field. So there are some slight, shall we say, changes and parameters there for a Wehrmacht tier 3 rush. And again, it requires you to play very aggressively. It requires you to keep up pressure, to keep punching away at your opponent, and most strategies will usually sort of have some way in also backing up things in case you run into issues, in case the opponent actually, gets out of light vehicle before they're ready for it. In which case, elite troops with the stormtroopers, is commonly chosen. In fact, it's also very commonly chosen because you also get the G40 fleet, which allows you to play even more aggressive with your grenadiers, because again, you want to play them very aggressive. In which case, again, G40 fleets overall just work a lot better for these kind of strategies. Generally, a tier 3 rusher will not go for light machine guns if he can get away with it. So, because again, the G43s can fire on the move, again allowing you to just play so much more aggressive than with the light machine guns. Plus, you can just fit on more weapons more easily. Plus, it does up more easily for flamethrowers as well. And of course, you want those as well to just keep pushing. You want to hit carve punch, you want to deny your opponent's resources. It's all just about pure, naked aggression and service of das Vaterland. Of course, in this regard, elite troops is just really solid. Again, concussive grenades, G43s, stormtroopers. I mean, it has it all in a sense, really just, back up a tier 3 rush. And of course, the key to remember is also just teching. I mean, I've seen a lot of tier 3 rushes in my time just, completely fail to actually be even remotely fast about this, and even have, battle phases research as really as soon as possible without necessarily neglecting other elements like reinforcing troops. But really, a key part of this is just remembering tech up as fast as humanly possible. Like, the faster you can get up, begin pushing out armor, the better. And again, generally you want to be able to do that around like the 10, 11, 12 minute mark. And again, I've seen a lot of players who do this kind of strategy, and then you can begin pushing out 15 minutes, at which point, I mean, it's no longer a rush. So again, very important is just begin taking as fast as possible. And again, late MD42s, they only just sort of help back up and hold some of the control as your grenadiers just keep pushing, which again is really important, really vital. Again, if you can execute this strategy well, though, you can keep your opponent under a lot of pressure, and if they suddenly make any sort of mistakes, you can quickly snowball it into a Panzer IV, and that is, as a rule of thumb, what you want to push for. The Panzer IV, the offspring just isn't very good, plus the Panzer IV also helps in case, again, they push for medium armor in response to this, since that can throw a slight, range into your plans. They have a light tank out already. You can go for it, though. If it's really bad, you could consider Stuke to help counter that light vehicle that is giving you quite a headache. But as a rule of thumb, once you sort of operate this strategy, your goal is to basically just push out a Panzer IV as fast as possible. Then you can always follow up with other things. And again, it's also kind of where maybe go for stormtroopers, like, again, for elite troops, so you can that way call them in, get them a pantry threat in case light vehicles do turn out to be a problem. You can also go for mobile defense, that of course means some light machine guns, but that offers the excellent Puma, so support, carry things over. Though of course it also further delays tier 3 rush, so it's not necessarily what you want to go for in a lot of circumstances. Though things get desperate, you can go there. And of course, also very important to note is, of course, the pressure on the fuel. Again, just denying your opponent fuel, but also securing yourself as much fuel to that way ensure that your tier 3 rush is as strong as possible and as difficult as possible to counter. I mean, that's also very important. I mean, your opponent can easily counter your tier 3 rush. There's not really much of a point in it now, is there? So that is, of course, much another important element of it. Not just, remembering to attack fast enough, having, full grenadiers running for troop, maybe 2 pioneers, but also just, getting the resources, and you can push out those Panzer IVs as humanly fast as possible. And of course, you sort of identify this strategy, try and hit it back as fast as possible, slow down the grenadiers. Machine guns can be good. Trying to ignore them, hitting his carve points, denying him resources is of course another excellent strategy. And of course, maybe pushing for a medium armor, pushing for a really fast light tank that can sort of, throw a wrench into their plans. I mean, there are certainly some considerations there that can, being made in sort of trying to deal with these kinds of strategies. But like you can see here, 10 minutes support call and can actually shortly after begin pushing out a Panther 4. This is a overall well executed tier 3 rush, I would think, here from Torano, and again will allow him to push ahead with a Panther 4 whereas his opponent, well, he's not really got much that can sort of really stop it. So overall I would say this is again a reasonably successful sort of version of it and display of it. So yeah, hopefully this video has been helpful, in sort of executing the tier 3 rush. Again, seeing it's more catching on, and I imagine some players will be, curious as to, well, how to execute this the best, how do you sort of understand the different components of it, and how do you, of course, ensure it don't screw up. And again, focus on the fuel, solid tier 1 with a lot of grenadiers, 1 MP42, nothing more, nothing less, and of course, remember to take up fast. Again, it's really well seen a lot of players stumble. That is simply, they just way too slow in actually taking up there. You have to remember to take up, otherwise the rest is just, not happening. So there you go. Hopefully you'll have learned something from this video. Hopefully you also enjoyed yourself a bit all the way. Hopefully it gives you an idea for your own tier 3 rushes or maybe something else. If it has, subscribe, like, share, comment. If you have your own tips, of course, maybe some thoughts on how to execute this strategy, feel free to post in the comment section. And if you'd like me to do, consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Either helps me out a ton and allows me to keep making videos. And of course you like this, so do consider. This is Imperial signing off. See you all another time for another video. Cheers.